Hello, you guys. I'm back. This is the homeless woman. My video got cut that I was recording earlier today. It got cut off because I didn't have enough space in my somebody just walking by. I'm just looking at them. I didn't have enough space in my phone. So I didn't know that it was holding all the trash. It was holding it. And so I had to delete everything out of the trash. Then I have more space. So it should be okay now. But I don't think I'm going to make no long video. This is going to be a part 2. So I got to make the other one part 1. I just uploaded it. So I left off on the girl got out of my van to throw up, but then she fell because it was like a dip. When she got us a dip and it was grass and dirt, so she fell. Plus she wasn't steady on her feet because she was drunk. So when she fell, and then she was throwing up too. So when she finished, I was like, make sure she don't have no throw up on her. I don't want to get in all of my seats and stuff, because then I'm going to have to charge her. I'm going to have to take pictures and charge her, because if I got to clean up any, you're going to get charged. So they made sure she didn't have any on her. When she got in, she tracked all this dirt and stuff on the floor mats that I had to clean up after she got out. So I was yeah, it was a stressful night. Saturday was really kind of stressful. It was a lot of people out, and I think a lot of people were out because it had been raining, and they took advantage of the nice weekend, and people were out partying and drinking and clubbing and out to eat and everything. So I was glad that it was people out, because then I can go on and get my 20 trips and be over with it. But it was too much, like too many drunk people Saturday. So it's almost 1 a.m. now, so that means it's Tuesday, and I ain't got much accomplished yesterday, Monday, but I did got my registration out of the machine at the grocery store, and I went to the storage unit, and I had to get quite a few things out of there. So I managed to get the stuff that I needed out of there in my towel, so I can do my laundry hopefully tomorrow. But yeah, I haven't cleaned the van yet, and I don't know. I'm just kind of, I think we need to have one day where you just don't do nothing. Because when I was reading the Bible, Yahweh rested. Yahweh Elohim, after he created the heavens and the earth, and that 7th day, he rested. I was reading somewhere in the Bible where it says that you should rest. Take one day to rest. And that it's like it refreshes you to continue on. And I don't know if you guys notice it or not, but when you like constantly work every day, don't take a day off, even if you're not going to actual work, but you may be at home working, and you just don't take a day off at all, just to just relax and not do anything, that 9 times out of 10, you will suffer through depression. It happened to me twice. And both times it was because I was working too much. I was working too much. I wasn't eating right. And I was eating like chips and Snickers, because what they say about Snickers. Well, what they used to say about Snickers. Snickers, like a hungry man, something. It satisfies you. Yeah, that used to be back in the day when they had all those peanuts. But you get a Snicker now, you can take a whole bite. You might not even get one peanut. I'm like, no more. No. I done gave them so many chances to get them peanuts back in those Snickers, and they haven't gotten it in there yet. I'm like, no more Snickers for me. Like, you can, I don't know, it's like they, like the kids coming up now, because that's who I think they really going after, the kids. I don't think they going after us older people. But the kids now, they don't even know that back in the day, Snickers had a lot of peanuts in it. You don't never see those commercials. Well, I don't even really watch TV, but I don't know if they still show those commercials. I have never ran across a commercial. When I do watch TV, I never run across a commercial talking about how many peanuts the Snickers having it like it used to have back in the day. Like these kids nowadays, they don't know. They don't know that Snickers used to have a lot of peanuts in them. And now you can take a full bite and not get one peanut. Like if I want a Twix, I'll buy a Twix. Or another candy with just, caramel and chocolate, I'll buy that. I want a Snickers because it had peanuts in it. Anyway, let me stop going on and on about. It's just so disappointing, you know what I'm saying? When you know how things used to be and now they like this and you charging way more money for them. But then you're going to hold back on the peanuts. Like another one, Cheetos. Those Cheetos are like crumbs now. They used to be nice and big and thick and long. And now they're literally crumbs. I'm like, but the young people don't know that. They weren't born too long ago. So they don't know that they used to be, nice, thick, and long. And so they don't know that they're being cheated. So anyway. So yeah, I don't buy Cheetos no more, and I don't buy Snickers anymore. Boy. Well, I'm sure I don't need it anyway. I don't need it anyway. I shouldn't be eating that stuff anyway at my age. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know what else. Car registration. Oh, I got a notification come on my car registration because it's due tomorrow. Yeah. So I didn't want to go past the due date. But yeah, I don't know why I got on into that, but I was trying to go somewhere else with my conversation, and then it just pissed me off about the Snickers and the Cheetos. And so I'll be right back. Have you guys noticed since the corona has been, I don't think I was supposed to say that, huh? I don't know if it's over and we can say it now or what, but I'm just going to leave it on there. Hopefully they don't strike me or nothing. But have y'all noticed since that virus, can I say that, it's over now? What if you're talking about the wine coolers? You know those coolers that you get at the liquor stores and stuff, or gas stations? Those coolers, they're called that. And there's a city called that too. So, like, you can't, it don't make sense. Anyway, ever since the virus it's over, I'm guessing it's supposed to be over now, nobody wants to go back to work, especially the young people. Like, I go to, like, fast food places, I go through the drive-thru, they sound so horrible when you talk to them on the speaker. They literally, you can hear it in their voice. They do not want to be at work. Do not. They sound so pathetic on the speaker. It's like, oh. And there's so many jobs hiring right now. And they paying like more than minimum wage. And if I didn't have a problem standing on my feet, I would go get those jobs. I would seriously go get those jobs, because at one time I was working at a gas station before I started doing the food delivery, and working at the gas station was okay. You know, I had the graveyard shift, and sometimes it can get pretty scary working graveyard shift, especially when the time changed and it got dark early. That was kind of creepy. Yeah, I remember one night, right when the time changed, it was like something changed in the air, and it was just a creepy darkness. And the gas station I was working at, it was like 3 people were hanging out, which usually don't have nobody hang out at the gas station I worked at, but 3 people were hanging out, and they were not together, and they were hanging out in different places on the property. And one kept coming in, buying one thing, and then leaving out. And it was so creepy that night. Then a man came in. He was a homeless man, but you know, he was more like, I don't know how to say it. Anyway, he came in, and he was like, it's creepy out there. And I was thinking to myself, I know. It really creeped me out. And then the fact that he came in and he said that, and then he was like, it's guys hanging out, you know, people hanging out there. I was like, I knew that it wasn't all in my head when he came in and he said the same thing. So I just really got this weird feeling in me. And so I felt it like the first 3 nights after, or maybe a week after the time had changed and it started getting dark early. I felt it for like the first week, that creepiness, darkness in the air, that something wasn't right. I started locking the doors. I was like, I'm not getting this feeling for nothing. You know what I'm saying? This feeling is not all in my head. I started locking the doors. And I said, I'm not opening the door unless it's a regular on foot, or if it's somebody with a car that stops at the pump. If they stop at the pump and walk in, then I know that they need gas and or they want to buy something too. But if you walked up, you don't have a car at the pump, and I never seen you before, I didn't open the door. We're closed. But I liked the job. I like being a cashier. Yeah, I liked it. The thing about the gas station cashier, I never did it was my first time being a cashier. I never worked cashier like at Walmart or at a grocery store, anywhere like that. But I feel like the cashier at a gas station is the hardest cashier that you would ever like have to do. Because when you think about it, when you go to Walmart or you go to the grocery store, they just ring up stuff. They just scan it. You know, maybe at the grocery store they have to look up vegetables or whatever, but sometimes the vegetables have a little tag on it with the number and they just punch it in. But and so they don't do like Walmart. I know they don't do refunds at that particular register. You have to go to a certain area to do exchanges or refunds. And but at a gas station cash register, you have to do everything at that one cash register. So you have to do refunds, exchanges, or when people pay for their they get gas and they getting stuff in the store, and then they say, okay, so they ring up the stuff in the store, and then they give you a bill and they say put the rest on pump 9. It was so hard for me to get that one. That was the last thing I got. It was so hard. I had to write it down. Okay, push this button and then push that button and then push this button. That one was the hardest, but I finally got it. But it was a hard thing for me to get. I was like, dang, I didn't know that a gas station register is this hard, but it's hard. And I'm like, they only pay minimum wage for this? It's crazy that you only get minimum wage for working at a gas station. And not only do you have to work at be a cashier, but you have to be a janitor, because you have to sweep and mop the floors, you have to clean the restrooms, you have to empty the trash cans that are outside, and then you have to stock the shelves. So then you're a stocker too on top of it. um it's just like, it's so much stuff. You got to clean the machines and stuff like that. And now I know, since I've been working at a gas station, I know what you're supposed to do. Like some of these gas stations and their soda machine, they not clean, because you got to take those screws off and stuff and clean it, and then rinse it off and put it back. And I know that they don't be doing that, especially when a gas station where there's men, because men, let's just face it, they're not really good at cleaning. It's just the truth. They're not. When you go into a gas station where there's like a lot of men and no women work there, you will be able to tell. Just look at the gas station. You'll tell. Be like, it be looking a mess. Be like, oh, I know ain't no women working here. But anyway, especially when you go in the restroom. Whew. So I liked it. It was okay. Then I just got to the point where yeah, the manager, she started tripping after that so-called virus came. She act like, she started being disrespectful to me, and she thought that, I guess, I couldn't get another job because everybody was staying home. But she didn't realize that there was a lot of gig jobs, a lot. Like they needed people bad to deliver food. She didn't realize that, but I knew it. So another thing too, I just thought about when I was talking about this job. When I was working at the gas station, they didn't know I was homeless. Nope. My car has tinted windows, and I use black construction paper to cover my windows, so it just looked like a real dark tint. So they didn't know. And then I worked nights, so they didn't know that I lived in my car. Yep. So when you are applying for a job and you live in your car, don't tell them. If you could use somebody's address, maybe a friend, family, somebody's address when you fill out the application, yeah, don't tell them that you live in your car, because you might not get the job. Especially if it's dealing with money, or they probably thinking you're going to steal, and then you don't know the manager. The manager might not like homeless people. The manager that I worked at the gas station, she didn't like homeless people. She used to say, no homeless people allowed in the store, and I'm thinking to myself, there's a homeless person around on the register behind the counter. Yeah, she used to say that. And I'm like, boy, if she knew. She hired a homeless person. So just think, I was her best employee. I came every day. I didn't miss no days. I wasn't late, not even 1 minute. And it allowed her to sleep in her bed peacefully without a graveyard employee calling off sick. See, that's their worst nightmare. A graveyard employee calling off sick. So I made it so that her and assistant manager can sleep at night in their bed peacefully and not have to worry about covering my shift. So just think, if she had knew that I was homeless, she would have never hired me. She would have never hired me. I guarantee you that. She don't like homeless people at all. So I was so glad I didn't tell her, because I needed that job. So don't tell them that you're homeless, because it's really none of their business. And plus, some people will be understanding, and some people will give you a job if you're homeless, but you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know them until you actually know them. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know if they'll give you a job or not. So just don't tell them. They don't need to know. Your living situation has nothing to do with your ability to perform that job. So they don't need to know your personal business. Keep that to yourself if you really want the job. So yeah, that's a good lesson. So yeah, after she started mouthing off at me, getting smart with me, I was already doing Instacart part-time. So I started downloading apps. I think I was on the waiting list already for DoorDash. Because when you apply for DoorDash, you always go on a waiting list. So I was on a waiting list for DoorDash. No. I was training for Grubhub. It's a long training process for Grubhub. So I was training for Grubhub, and then I applied for DoorDash, and I was on a waiting list. Then I applied for Postmates. And what else? I think that was it. But eventually DoorDash sent me a message and said that, you know, that my waiting time was over and I could finish the application process, and I did. And that day I went out and did a delivery, and I made $24 in 1 hour, which at the gas station I was making $14 an hour. So I quit that day. Yeah, I sent them the manager and assistant manager a text together and told them I quit. I was tired of being disrespected. Like, when you have a good, reliable employee, don't talk down to them just because you think they trapped at the job. No, it's always another way. I learned that. So, man, that's all I have to say. Yeah, I guess I will talk to you guys another day, and have a good night.